Hi guys, welcome to our book club. Today will be the third session of our beginner's book, Oliver and the Seawigs, a book written by Sarah McIntyre and Philip Reeve. Today we will review on chapter number 5 and number 6. And well, let's just begin. Hi guys, as I was telling you, today we will review chapter number 5 and number 6 from our book. So let's just, rewind a little bit and let's just remember what was happening in chapter number 4. So as you may recall, in chapter number 4, Oliver, Iris, and Cliff finally found the water mole, that is this very, very old submarine. And well, they are in the sarcastic sea. Remember, the sarcastic sea is just full of seaweed that they are, doing or making these a little bit hurtful comments. And well, they are celebrating because they finally have the water mole, and they are ready for the night of the Seawigs. And while they are celebrating, I think that they start listening to some voices, or they felt something, because little by little, something is getting close. Something is getting close, I think, that's how chapter number 5 starts. And here it says that, something is getting approached, but also here we have like a flashback, or like a little bit of information about what happened with Oliver's parents, because it says that this was one of the islands that was very, very close to Oliver's house, and this was a big island, and it says here, that it was tall and rocky, and on its summit dark trees cluster se amontonaban, juntos. It says, among the trees stood a ruined temple, crumbly and overgrown. Around the temple tower huge stone heads with empty eyes and open mouth. So it is describing that on the top there were some temples, and the temples had the shape of a face with hole, no eyes, or well, eyes but empty eyes, so that means just the hole, and open mouths. And that they resembled a lot to those islands in the Easter Island. So here you have the image, and it says that because of maybe because of the temples, maybe because of the size of the island or whatever, Oliver's parents felt very attracted to that island, so they went there. And well, as soon as they arrived, they were so surprised because of the temples, because of this, because of that. So they start talking and over, and suddenly Oliver's father says like, "Hey, but someone is living in this island," because it says here, "Hey, this island is inhabited." So it says by whom, who lives here, and well, that is everything we have about Oliver's parents, because after they said that, it says that the island start moving, like an earthquake, something, and then suddenly we have no more information. So as I told you, it was kind of a little flashback about what happened with Oliver's parents, but then coming back, to the main story, to what is happening with Oliver, they start, they look at this island that is getting closer, and then Iris says like, "Hey, look at those heads." I guess, the heads from the temples. And then Cliff says like, "Oh no, it's the Throw Stone." So here we have, the name, it's the Throw Stone. We have the name of the new island, but also we have more information, because it says, "It is very old and very bad. Batman did human sacrifices in that temple on its top long ago, and the blood trickled down inside it and turned it wicked." So it says that, they have human sacrifices, and the blood reach the island's heart, or, something important inside of it, and that's why it became villain, like a villain, a bad boy, a bad island. So, well, the island is getting close and everything, and it says that suddenly they start listening to a voice. It says, The throwstone lifted itself a little way out of the water. Massive withered shoulders rose into the sunlight. Water drained out of throat cracks and fissures. In the island sides, it means black eyes stare at... It mean black eyes stare hard at cliff through billows of falling water, and mouth like a sea cave open, and a stony boy said, "Nice shipwreck you have there." "It's ours. We found it," said Iris. So it says that the island is coming closer, but the island, doesn't have his face out of the water like Cliff in this moment. They are just looking, at the head. It's moving, underwater. So it arrived a point, when the island just, lift its face. And, well, with his boy, it says, "Hey, you have something nice there." And Iris is like, "Well, it is not yours, it's ours." And it says here that, here you have the Thawstone. Here you have it. And, well, the island doesn't like mermaids. So he says, "Mermaids are vulgar." And they start, maybe not having a conversation, but, in the interaction, Oliver is here and he has some binoculars. So he started, looking at some stuff that are in the island. And he saw that there were some, it says here, I think those are the danglers. Just 1 second. Well, it doesn't say the danglers. It said, there inside the other gloves. Here it says, from the cliffs of either side of its face, 2 big glass gloves dangle in cradles of knot rope. Here, los nudos. So the dangle, el colgante. So, there were colgantes. And inside, there were Oliver parents. So it says that, he looked at them and he said, "Hey, Mom, I'm here. Hey, look at me." And this, he waved and shouted. And then his mom looked at him and started, writing. Instead of writing, it says, scribbling. And scribbling means, garabatear. So she was, scribbling and says, "Stay away." While his father was also, writing something and says, "Help." That was a very, very funny part. So here we have this. The island is coming, closer every time. And suddenly it says that another voice start, someone else start talking. And this, where it says, ignoring me comments and backhanded compliments from the floating weed, it shouldered its way, octopuses, it says, octopuses with their tentacles, like eyebrows. So, his eyebrows are tentacles. So it says here, well, it says that suddenly, a boy, quite clearly without them, he could see without the binoculars. It says that, he saw a tall teenager balancing precariously on bean sprout legs. So that means that his legs were very, very, thin. Very thin. Sprouted would be like una ramita, un brote, brotes de frijol, very little, very thin. So it says, they found this guy. And this guy was also like, "I want that. I like it. I have it." And it says, upon its brow, the boy picked up a big brass megaphone and bellowed through it. "Oh, all the chicks, squirrel. We found it. It's ours. You are not having my wig," rumbled Cliff. Oh, because it says you better, give it to us. "My island wants that Greg of yours. You'll better hand it over." That's the thing he was saying. And everybody's like, no, this is not, yours and that. And suddenly Oliver says, or it says, Iris. Well, anyways, who are you? And this little boy says, well, my name is not important, but my name is Stacy the Lazy. And then it says, Oliver, "But that's a girl's name." And Stacy the Lazy says, "Oh no, it's like any other name. There are names for girls and boys." But he, I guess he felt uncomfortable a little bit because of the question. So we know that something is happening there. And well, here, it says they are continue talking a little bit and that, but suddenly we have like a flashback. And this is important, guys, because, like at the beginning, it's a little bit complicated to understand it. So in this case, like we have, because Oliver says like, oh, Stacy the Lazy, it's a girl's name. Like Stacy start having a flashback. And in the flashback, we have more information about him. So it says here that, like Stacy the Lazy was, well, here. No wonder Stacy the Lazy sounded gleeful. It was quite a new feeling for him giving orders. When he'd been growing up, nobody had ever taken much notice of him. His parents, who were rich and busy, barely paid him any attention. The older children at school all hated him. And why did they hate him? Well, actually it was because he was a nasty, boastful bully, but Stacy didn't realize that. He was sure it was just because of his name. Stacy can't be a boy's name too. He will tell them when they laugh at it. They never believed him. Angry and all alone, he took long walks on the beach near his house, dreaming of the terrible revenge he would take on them when he was older. So we know that everybody was, well, Stacy the Lazy is a bully. What is a bully? Someone that like maybe pranking, maybe like telling sarcastic comments to people. You know what a bully is, an annoying person. So he was very annoying, but he thought that people didn't like him, or people was laughing at him because of his name. So one day, as always, that he was tired of it, and it says that he used to walk around the beach close his house. So one day he just, like walking, he's there, and it says that, once he arrived to the beach, he saw that the beach was dirty. It says here, all sort of things washed up on that beach. Like a lot of stuff, a lot of things here. And it says that, he was kicking, if you don't know what is a flip-flop, they're a chanclas. So, like he was kicking some flip-flops, he was, like moving some bottles, he was, like entertain a little bit with the things in the shore. And it says here, that suddenly, what happened? It says here that one day after the storm, he found a she-gull covered with stinking seaweed, uprooted from some deep hollow of the seabed. Seabed, it is el fondo del mar, It was a type of seaweed that he had never noticed before. It had thick stalks, each as tall as Stacy, with a fat green bulb at the top. Stacy picked up one of the stalks and began cracking it like a bullwhip as he stumped along. He imagined lashing his classmate with it. So it says that one day, this was his favorite place. So one day he just, grabbed one of those seaweeds that looks very weird because they have a bulb. This is a bulb. This, like a bulb, but it's bulb, un bulbo. Like at the end. So he just grabbed the plant and he started, like a whip, un látigo, like bam, bam, And suddenly it says, he was like, Stacy the Lazy is not a girl's name, Pam. And he was imagining he was hitting, his classmates or people who usually, like laugh at him. And, it says that suddenly, it says like clack, squash, splat, like some weird noises. And it says the green bulb at the end of the sea whip burst, and out came a splur of dirty water and something else. Something that moved, scrabbling and roving its way down into the tangles of dead weed that were heaped along the tide line. So it says that he was doing, like this, and suddenly the bulb started making noises, and bam, exploded, like some dirty water, like came out. But also something that was moving, and since it was, like inside of the water with a lot of stuff, as you may see in the image, well, it started, like moving. And it says that, Stacy went closer and prodded the wheat pile with his toe. Something was definitely rusting around in there. He bent down for a closer look. Suddenly the wheat was torn aside, and a hideous little fang and grinning face stared up at him. Then two little well-fingered hands seized to the toe of his knicker, and the creature sank its teeth into the rubber. So remember that, he is very close to the beach, and he was, like playing with the whip. And suddenly, he reaches the shore and he's moving with his feet, with his toe. Remember that in our feet, we don't have fingers, we have toes. So with the toe, it's like moving like way. And suddenly he saw that two eyes were looking at him. And also it says that instead of hands, it has web fingers. And what are web fingers? Well, those like fins, como aletas, those are the web fingers. So it says like, whoa, I found something, and it's interesting, and it's ugly, and it is this. But well, he was impressed, and it says that he started talking and said like, oh wait, got this, but I'm Stacy the Lazy, and the monkey didn't say anything. It's not a girl's name. Monkey didn't say anything. So he said like, oh, excellent, you're mine. So monkey was super happy and said like, oh, okay, yes boss, like the Minions, I guess, they did remind me to the Minions. And well, Stacy the Lazy was so happy because maybe he hasn't found a friend, but he found some servant. Why? Because suddenly the monkey started biting other wolves, and they start exploding, and more monkeys were coming out, and then those monkeys were biting some other wolves. So at the end it was an army of monkeys. Here you have them, yeah. So at the end, with all monkeys, Stacy Lacy said, I am your master, obey me, I will give you orders. But also here, Stacy Lacy was very conscious that he couldn't take them home. So in this part, it says that a place that he found in order to keep them there was like a cave or something very close to that beach where he was. And also in the next page, it says that, he wanted more. He was trying a little bit of power, so he wanted more. He didn't want to come back to his house. So he started thinking about the sea, being a sailor or a pirate, or I don't know what. And he started looking for more information. He found about the Rambling Islands, and he says, I want one of those. Imagine it's not a boat, it's not a ship, it's an island. So he wants one of those. And he, here it says, monkeys are very well, said Stacy the Lazy to himself, but I had my own rambling isle. Think how powerful I'll be then. So he is, thinking probably in revenge. That's why he wants to be powerful. And, well, here it says that, anyways, one day after he got information about the Rambling Island and whatever, he's trying to catch one of those islands. So it says that one day he was, in his favorite place. It says that he saw that an island was coming close. And then the island says something like, oh, this won't help me win. Oh, because it says, he heard the Rambling Island grumbling it to itself as it sifted through the pile of driftwood and old fishing nets he left. So, one of the tramps, one of the things, it says that driftwood, remember that is wood, guys. It is like leña, but not like the normal leña. It is that pieces of wood that they are floating in the sea. That is, the driftwood. And the nets are, those things you need in order to fish. So whenever you're fishing, or fishermen, they just cast their nets into the sea in order to grab fish. So anyways, the island is coming closer, and then the Stacy the Lazy says like, hey, you don't need to worry, I can help you, you can win. And the island says like, but how? Oh well, I have an army of monkeys. So that is the ending of the flashback, and like now we understand how the island, Stacy the Lazy, and the army of monkeys met. So coming back to the main story, remember that Iris, Oliver, and Cliff, they are having this discussion with the Rumbling Island, which name is the Thorlestone, and Stacy the Lazy, because they want to take their submarine. So they are having this discussion like this isn't yours, you won't have it, and moreover, and suddenly a sea of monkeys, like arrive, a sea of monkeys here. It says here, sea of monkeys, small and smelly in their coats of greasy green fur. Oh, because they are green. They jiggle horribly as they swim towards Cliff. Jiggle, it will be like risita. So risita maliciosa, something like that. And well, it says that in this case, all monkeys were just, like climbing on Cliff's head. They grabbed the submarine, but it says here, let me see. Because at the end, like Oliver says something. I think he's here. Well, it says, they sank their teeth and claws into the orange inflatable dinghy and popped it just for laughs. Oliver tried to stop them. He picked up monkeys and hauled them back at the sea, but more were landing all the time and they were scary and dangerous looking. They bared their dirty yellow fangs and screeched at him. So I don't remember what is the part when they say, oh, here. Oh, yeah, it says here. Well, anyways. Remember that the sea of monkeys are arriving, and they arrive and they just pop the dinghy. What is to pop? Lo rompieron, like they pop the dinghy, and the dinghy, it is the ship. Remember. And well, it says in this part, they bared their yellow fangs and screeched at him. So bared their dirty teeth, fangs. Bare, it is desnudo. So in this case, it is like this. Bare. So los desnudaron, los enseñaron. And, fangs are colmillos, and screech at him. Screech, it is a noise, guys. It's an onomatopoeia. Screech, it will be, for example, when a car in Fast and Furious, for example, they are in a curve and that is screech. Another example, it will be when you have a backboard and then you scratch on it, like, like with something, with your nails or something. That is the sound. So in this case, it is that very, very sharp noise. So probably they are like and they are showing their teeth. So it says here that it was a sea of monkey, and then it says here, I found that part. The sea monkey were so small that Oliver did not think they could shift the submarine. But there were so many of them that they did. The water mole lifted from its perch, afloat again on the sea of snot green fur. Oliver and Iris had to jump out of the way as the chattering monkeys rushed back, weaving into the sea. The Thurlestone dipped down until only Stacy's balcony and the old stones and the trees around the temple showed. And the monkeys swam and shrilled and struggled and shoved the water mole onto his head. So what is this part saying? That, like monkeys were just there and they were pulling, and then the island was like this, like dipping. So monkeys easily just, like put it on top of his head, and that's it. So it says that finally, like as soon as the monkeys got it and everything, so long losers, called Stacy the Lazy. We will see you at the Hollow Shallow. And they what? They just left. And in this case, it says that Oliver saw how his parents were, like living too. So his parents, remember that they were in the glass bowls, they were in the danglers, like colgantes, they were moving. So at the end, his parents were like, bye. And well, I guess that it is the ending of chapter number 5. It is. So, well, it was a very interesting chapter. Very exciting because, like what will happen? What is next? But well, anyway, let's just begin with chapter number 6. And as I told you last time, you need to pay attention into the images because images gives you give you a lot of information. In this case, we have, like remember the seaweed, but also remember cliff. So with this image, we will continue with chapter number 6. So in this case, like after the Thorlstone Island and Stacy the Lazy left, Oliver is like, hey, Cliff, like go after him, like go, like let's recover our this, and also let's just, like save my parents. But Cliff, it's super sad. Super sad, it's like, there's no way. It says like, what about the army of monkeys? What about this? And nope, it says Cliff sighed. Sighed is like, suspiró. So I'm going to settle, me voy a, I forgot the word in Spanish, guys. Establecer. Exactly. Me voy a establecer. So in this case, like it says, no, yelled Oliver. I should have done it years ago. What's the point of all this tramping around collecting stuff? I'm going to stand here and grow roots and forget I ever was a rumble. I will control an island. That's all I'm good for. I'm useless. Finish. Wash up. He sank back slowly into the sea. So Cliff is very, very sad, and he says like, I don't care. I tried. Let's just, like stay here forever. And meanwhile, like Oliver is, no, let's just go, let's this, let's that. And here, in some part, it says that because of the experience Oliver have, remember that his parents are explorers, so he has a little bit of experience in some adventures. So he's like, yes, I can do it, like, yeah, it doesn't matter. So let's try it. So here we have, like Oliver making a pose when he's like, yes, I will do it. And, well, anyways, Iris is a little bit also worried because, like, what about the sea of monkeys? What about this? But Oliver says, like, I don't care about monkeys. I need to rescue my parents. We need to do something. So as you may remember in the last chapter, monkeys were, like popping everything. They were destroying everything, taking everything. So they popped the dinghy. Probably it has an hole. So it says in this part, I don't remember where is it, that, yeah, here it says, he opened his explorer rucksack and triumphantly pulled out a foot pump and a punctured dinghy repair kit. So remember that the rucksack kit is the backpack Oliver has, and well, he's prepared. So he has like a repairing kit. He's repairing the dinghy, and the pump is, like la bomba, in order, like to inflate the dinghy. So, well, here we have here, and then we can see that Oliver is a little frustrated because in this part, like he doesn't have a discussion, but we have a very interesting, part here, because it says here that Oliver is ready, like to fall off the Thorlstone Island, and once the dinghy is repaired, he tries to start the engine, like by pulling the cord. But remember that his arms are very weak. He cannot do it. And then, like he is so frustrated that when Iris says like, well, I think I can help you, Oliver says like, oh yeah? With those arms? And I guess, like the tone was so sarcastic that it says here that even the sarcastic Seaweed was like, oh, he said that. So, like it was a little bit funny. But, well, anyways, Oliver is a little frustrated and we could notice it here. But at the end, like Iris, she was just trying to help. And even if she felt a little bit hurt, the thing that she did was this guy. Like Iris took place, like half of her body was inside the boat and half was outside. So with her tail, she could, like move the boat. And it says here that at the end, like Miss Culpepper was like, well, there is no case, like I stay here. You don't know the place. You don't know how, like to follow the island. So I will help you because I have a compass internally. So I will go with you. So as we see, like the three of them start the adventure, start following to this turtle island. And, well, it says here, let me see. Oh yeah, it says here. It was tiring work for poor Iris. Every few minutes she had to stop and race while Oliver refueled her by feeding her caramels bar from his lunch. But at least the sarcastic sea was left behind. So as you may see, it was a very tiring task. She is eating, every time she is a little bit tired in order to recover a little bit of energy. And then it says that they were already, like very far from the sarcastic sea. So suddenly, it says here, Mr. Culpepper flew above them, calling them directions. So remember that Mr. Culpepper is like, right, left, go here, turn, this, from the sky. Okay, because, Mr. Culpepper is a bird that flies. And, well, it says that, like little by little, they start looking at some other rambling islands. And it says, they began to pass other rambling isles. At first, they looked like normal islands, but they were all moving and all in the same direction, with wide wakes of foam stretching behind them. Some were small and tatty as cliffs, some were magnificent. There was one who had sculptured a sort of volcano on his upper parts, and lit a fire in it so trails of smoke rings mingled with the haze. There was one who had drizzled wet sand onto her head to build a tittering pinnacles and spires. And other who had arranged miles and miles of wood into a massive behemoth, with a small ship stuck in the middle of it. None of them paid the slightest attention to the dingy. So, well, in this part, it is describing these islands, guys. So this is the island with the volcano. This is the island with the like the ship tangle in the seaweed, and this is the one with the pinnacles. Well, it doesn't say anything about a whale, but I guess it is this one or maybe one of those ones, So, well, anyways, we have pictured that, and suddenly, we know more information, or we have more information about Cliff. So in this case, like Cliff is sad. Remember that he is thinking, and he's like, he closed his eyes and says like, don't think, you're an island. But he cannot stop worrying, it says, in this case. No, he told himself, it's not use worrying. I had enough. All these years wandering and gathering things just so some other isle can pitch them. That's it. I'm settling here. Maybe one day someone will put another danger submerged rock sign on me. And he shut his eye and sank his toes down deep into the seafloor, sealed, and tried to stand as still and lifeless as any other rock of the ocean. But he couldn't, like in this case. And then remember, we have the sarcastic seaweed. So it says here also that the seaweed, it says, he began to think that maybe the jeering seaweed or the jeering weed was right to hint that he'd been cowardly. Maybe Oliver had been right. Maybe he should go to the hollow shallow, and tell other isles what that rotten hard tollstone was up to. Somebody got to do something, he said aloud. And Oliver's and Iris are too small, and Mr. Culpepper is just an albatross. Oh, so that somebody must be me. So we have, like a debate, like what Cliff is thinking, because he's super sad, like at the end he lost everything, and well, but at the same time he is like reflecting, because like in the next paragraphs we can see it. Oh, that is the end. Oh, that is the end then. Well, in this way, watch over, like we know that Cliff it is thinking about, like his friends, him thinking about, like that he was very coward, that he could have done better, and well, it seems that is the end of the chapter, guys. But well, anyway, so let's just stop here. And let's just continue next week with our next chapters, that it will be chapter number 7 and 8. For the moment, remember that you have your vocabulary lists in order to fully understand the chapters as well. I hope this video helped you. And well, remember that the adventure is getting to that point. We very soon have our ending. So we have some words that they are repeating over and over. So I hope you are, like taking those words and applying them and adding them to your daily speech. For the moment, guys, it seems that it has been an excellent adventure with Oliver. We know that they are experiencing a bad moment, but I guess in the next chapters we can know what is happening with Oliver, with Iris, with Cliff, if he, or well, it will save them or not. And finally, we will have a little bit of a look of this A Night of the Seawigs. So guys, it has been really a pleasure to be with you during this very short explanation and video. And well, let's just continue reading, and I hope to see you soon in our Saturday session in order to discuss the chapters. So, as I told you, continue having an excellent reading and see you later. Bye, guys!